Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Today we are in the city of Canalville, and we have not been in this city in quite some time. I've been kind of waiting for the new DLC, and so I'm actually pretty excited about jumping into this one. So today we are going to be working on our downtown expansion over here. And so I really want to kind of lay the foundation for us to kind of branch off into a big international airport over here and do some really fun stuff here. Before we jump in, I did want to welcome anybody who's new. There's a bunch of new subscribers that are coming in. So this city is a city that we've built based around canals. And so we have a lot of really fun builds in this city. We ended up doing custom canals going all the way down into our main downtown right here. And then we did end up doing that event space in that kind of special I did with the plazas and promenades, if anybody saw. It was pretty fun. But then we have this theater right here with this awesome little waterfront area, and we have prioritized walkability pretty much throughout this city. And it really is, this is definitely one of my favorite cities that I've ever built. But then we come over here, we have our small regional airport that is basically turned into an international airport with its volume. We have a whole waterfront district over here. We have our cruise ship terminal over here, which I think is just fantastic, with our little transit hub right here that is always just super busy. But then we did the national park up top, and this was a really fun build. I did these waterfalls going all the way down. I put these in, and then I did these hotels up top with this huge marina off the back. And these were all just super fun episodes. I ended up doing a huge custom zoo back here with a pier area over here. I really wanted to kind of wrap in a bunch of the Park Life DLC stuff. But then I did this huge marina with this seawall going around. And there's really just a ton of stuff in this city that I'm really proud of, and I think is just amazing. We did my first golf course back here, which I think is really cool, kind of a upscale residential area. And so there's really a lot that this city has that I think are just fantastic. And so I really wanted to extend that to this area. And so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and look at our overall design. So as our highway comes down here, we can see that it has these islands that kind of follow it. So I'd really like to capture that same kind of vibe with this highway coming back. Most of this area is pretty flat. We are going to have to flatten out a little bit of it, just because working with canals it's definitely better if you work with flat terrain. So what I'm thinking is we are going to first remove the trees just because we really don't need them there. This is going to be a huge downtown, and deforesting this area would probably be the most realistic approach. They would use the wood to kind of fund the project. And so I did want to give this area a little bit of lore as well. We have a few really big players within the city. Our most notable one is Ali Duport and the Duport Foundation, which actually helped to fund this entire island. And so after watching some other cities expand and looking at our kind of downtown, midtown area, she really wanted to put in a bid for us to develop this entire land into a more modern and newer downtown. And so the city unanimously approved it. They're super excited about it. And so the first thing I want to do is jump into our roads, and we need to go over to a dirt road. And we're going to use the dirt road as kind of like just a way to draw these out. So we do kind of see we have a little bend in this. So I think what we're going to do is pause the game. Let's go ahead and fix this bend real quick. Okay, that's much better. And so now we can go back into our dirt roads, and we want to try and measure off how far away this is. It's really not that far, but I think if we come in here, let's go ahead and turn off snapping. I think if we go like this, so we're about 11 units out. So what we would want to do is follow that same kind of guideline. So we're going to go ahead and go right here, and I'm going to drop it down to the ground. And I do want this to be on ground level, so we kind of mess that up a little bit. So if we actually just come out here, we're going to turn on snapping and draw it out. So we're going to go out 11 and then come up and go down to the ground. And we're going to follow that up. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. So we're going to go 11 out and then go down to the ground. And the reason we're doing this is so that we can capture that symmetry with this. So we really want this to continue on. So we are going to grab this now and use the parallel tool within the network multi-tool. So if you go into this little UI tab, which is unified UI, you can go into this network multi-tool, go to create parallel mode, and we are going to now grab these, go all the way from like right here, and probably go back to like right here, because I think we're going to end up reaching a point where it's like too hilly or something's happening, maybe even a little bit further, but I think we'll start off with this. And so now what we want to do is go ahead and extend this out far enough to where it's going to be right above that road. And so that did give us a bridge. I'm not too worried about it though, because what we can do is jump into the move it mob, grab this and bring it all the way down to the ground. Let's actually draw a piece on the ground just to give us a reference point. So if we go like that, go into the move it mod, which is this little guy over here, grab that, Control H. So Control and H, it turns it white right there. So if you grab that, brings it all the way down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for this one. So Control H, grab that. And then now what we can do is go back into that network multi-tool, go into set slope mode, and grab this and go all the way down. And it looks like this one didn't properly go, of course. So I'm gonna have to retry that. So if I get out of the network multi-tool and then Control H right here, that should be good. And it was. So now we can go back into the set slope mode, grab these two and go all the way down. And what that's gonna do is give us an easy way to make that all level. So now we can go into the upgrade tool, go into this network anarchy and go to force ground piece. And so now what this is going to do is allow us to literally upgrade this into a ground piece all the way down. And so now we really don't have to worry about whether it's on the ground or not. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Okay, and so now that we have that, what we have is our blueprint for our canals. And so I do want to follow a similar pattern to what we had going on over here, which is a lot of curves. We created this circle in the middle, which I don't think we're going to do. But we want to have a couple little islands. And so I think what we'll do is go ahead and have this come up and then probably curve over. So now what we want to do is go ahead and create a little curve off of this. So we're going to go out 10 because this is the width of our canals. We're going to jump into the freeform tool, connect this up, but then I want this to curve around. So we'll go like this and then have this go straight. So we will just go into the straight tool, have it go all the way down, and then let's go ahead and have it curve in as well, just because it's gonna make it look a little bit better. So then we will go out 10 again, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump on these nodes and go out 10 as well, just to make sure that we're level. Once we're straight, we really don't need to worry about it, but once we come out here, we do need to still think about that. So then we'll go back into the freeform tool and connect these up. Now we can come all the way down here, connect this up, and then what I'm thinking is we will end up wrapping this around. We want to create enough space to do like a ferry stop in here, maybe even create a little island, make it look good. And so then we can connect this up, go like this. So now we have created our first little island with our canals. And so I do want to come in here and get rid of this. We'll go like that. And it does look like this is a little off. So what you can do is just go ahead and get rid of this. What we can do is go ahead and have this follow and create a little island in here. So we will go ahead and go out 10 and go out 10 again, just because it's going to create a little too much space. We still do want to leave room for a ferry stop in here, so we want to definitely be mindful of that. So we will grab the freeform tool and connect all these up now. And what we're going to do is go ahead and have this go straight. We will come up off this road. We want to make sure that we're at about 10. So we'll go out 10, we'll come down here, and then we will connect this up. And there we go. And so now this is going to be the entrance of our little island area. And so now let's have this canal come down and break off again. We'll have it go this way. And let's go ahead and have it just extend all the way across. Because this is a downtown, we would still want to create enough space for tall buildings and stuff like that. And so we're going to come back through here and do some curves and stuff. And so the goal with this is to do another curve on this side to mimic this, but then do a couple more of these. And so we definitely want to capture this kind of cool vibe in here with all these little bends and stuff. And so now let's go ahead and extend this out just a little bit. And we will go ahead and copy this on this side. I'm going to go ahead and draw on the rest of this real quick. All right, so this is the design that I'm thinking. I ended up doing some curves in here because I really wanted to get some interest going on, but then I ended up having to curve this over here because our hill, like what I was saying before, I think it was just a smart bet to turn it in this way. But then I left a lot of the squares big enough for us to get some buildings and some places in there rather than making them a little too small. But I think it really blends in with this. They're definitely bigger islands, but I think it's going to be a really fantastic look for this area. And so now for anybody who doesn't know what I do now, I'm going to jump into the Landscaping and Disasters tab, go into Water Structures, and I'm going to use the key ball that I most generally use. We actually might use this stone key. You know, this one actually looks really good. Maybe we'll change it up. I was going to use the stone key decorated like I always do, but basically what you do is you choose your key, you go into Network Multi-Tool, go into Create Parallel Mode, and you do want to have your ends deleted first. Then we'll go back into that, do this again, and we will basically just create a parallel key that's going to run right next to the road, but you want to have them on the inside rather than the outside. Having them perfectly spaced at about 10 creates enough room for you to get ferries in and stuff like that, and to where it still looks good. So then you just drag it all the way down and then hold that minus sign until you get to about 9 or 10. That's normally what I do. I think I do 10 probably most regularly. Yeah, we'll keep it at 10, and then you just hit enter. And then what that does is it puts the key in there, and so now you don't have to worry about it. One of the things you can do to make this process run a little bit better is actually to jump into the landscaping tools, and we'll go into the level terrain tab. and we will go like this. We're going to choose that bottom of this little waterway, and we're going to come all the way through these areas. And the reason why this makes it a little bit easier is because then the keys end up facing the right direction. If you do the keys first, then you end up getting them kind of just all over the place. Like you can already see some of these are just backwards. And so by digging them out first, kind of even letting it flood, it just makes it so that the keys read better. And so I'm going to go ahead and level this out and then put in the keys real quick, and then we'll start building all this out. Okay, and so here is our canal network. And now what I want to do is go ahead and start laying down some roads. So I do want to use our pedestrian roads. So we're going to come in here to the paint pedestrian area, and we're going to go ahead and paint the entire outside. I don't know if we're going to do the entire outside. I just want to kind of, future-proof it just in case. And so now let's go into roads, and we are going to go to pedestrian roads. And let's go ahead and choose one, probably this one with grass. I feel like this is going to look good, because then what we can do is have it just kind of hug the key wall a little bit. So we'll have it come all the way down. We'll go like right there, and we could even go a little bit closer if we wanted to. And the reason I want it that close is because it's going to really help us to capture a really cool look in here. And so I think we will have this go into a bridge. Let's go up 3. Let's go ahead and get into unmodded, and then have it go over here and follow this. So we will have it go this way and then go back down. Let's go ahead and look at that, because we do want to make sure that we still have access for ferries. And so this is already going to be kind of low. Let's go ahead and just raise this up just a couple more. We may need to back up our slopes just a little bit, but we want to make sure a ferry can get in there. This is just a walking bridge with light car access, so I'm really not too concerned with it being too heavy. What we can do is go in here to the slope mode, set slope mode, and just bring it back to that last one. We'll go like this. And then that way it's just going to make it a little more gradual. We'll go ahead and upgrade this to a bridge piece as well, since that wants to stay a ground piece. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Yeah, go like that. It just makes it look a little bit better. And then what we can do is go into node controller and then have this set to make sloped. Yeah, there we go. That just makes it look a little bit better. This one's not as bad. And so I think what we're going to do now is go ahead and make a grid pattern off of this. So I want this to go straight, and let's go ahead and turn it to unmodded. We want it to be on the ground. Let's turn on snapping just so that we can get kind of close to that. And so what we will do is have this come up here, and I want it to be close to that key wall, but not right next to it. So let's go ahead and go out like right here, and then I want it to turn in, and I want to create a little bit of a space in here. So we will, let's actually trim that back a little bit. I'm thinking we'll do a ferry stop right here. So if we have this turn, let's turn on snapping so we can get that 90-degree angle. Let's go ahead and have this go all the way out to our pedestrian road and then curve in. And so what I'm thinking is I want to get a couple skyscrapers in here, and I want to get a good ferry depot, probably even a couple unique buildings. And so we really want to try to be mindful of space and overall orientation of the roads. And so let's go ahead and bring this up now. Let's go into our freeform tool and have this follow along the key wall now. And there we go. And so now what we can do is go ahead and have this turn. So we'll have this go this way and probably just terminate right there. We can actually have it just come up like that. And then that way we can leave another little space in here for maybe like a building or something like that. That's really what you want to try to do here, is create some cool patterns and then leave some space for buildings. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and connect up a grid in here. So we will come out here, go out 1. Let's go ahead and just grab that, go like that. Do the same thing here. We're going to get rid of that middle road in there, and we'll go ahead and leave this one empty. So then let's go ahead and delete these now. We don't need them. And so let's go ahead and continue this grid down, but we're going to go ahead and stop just before that pedestrian road because I want to curve it in. So then we will have this go down as well. And then let's go ahead and divide this one up as well. So we'll go like this, go all the way down, and we'll just go like that. Nice. And so we are already doing some really cool stuff in here. So let's go ahead and dry fit our ferry depot in here and see what we're working with, because I know this is going to be really tight on space. So if we go ahead and place that right there, how does that look? You know, it actually doesn't look bad. It is a little too high. So let's go into the movement mod, turn off snapping, go like this, and then control H right there just to make sure it's on the correct height. We will go into our pedestrian road again and then go ahead and connect this up. Let's go ahead and go, well, let's have this follow the key wall just a little bit. We'll go like that. And let's do the same thing here. Let's turn off snapping though so that we can get that angle in there. Go like this, go all the way down, connect that up. Let's go ahead and check that out. So that actually looks pretty good. This definitely looks like it's going to be an issue. So what we can do is go into the network multi-tool and go to unlock segment, unlock that, and then upgrade it to our pedestrian road. And of course I am still in network multi-tool, go like that, and voila. And so now we have connected up a pedestrian road back there, which is really cool. We really got a lot of opportunities to do some fun stuff in here. And so now what we want to do is go ahead and create an arterial in here. And so I do want to do a raised one. So we're going to go ahead and go up to probably 39. I think 30 is enough for ferries, but let's go ahead and check that out. So I think 39 is probably good. And so what I want to do is go ahead and have this go straight. I really want this to be like a great connection for this area to kind of funnel traffic out of here. And so I think this is going to be a good location for it. So I would like this to curve in a more natural way. So what I'm thinking is we will probably have this curve down there maybe and connect up over there. That could probably be a good connection for it. We should be able to connect this up in a good way. Yeah, you know, it doesn't look bad. Let's go ahead and use the slope tool. So we'll go into network multi-tool, set slope mode, and grab these and see if we can get these on a little bit better of an angle. So it's definitely really low. So maybe we'll go ahead and delete this. And then that way what we can do is have our slope come from back there. So if we go like that, yeah, you know what, that's much better. And then that way what we can do is just have this kind of curve in. So we will have this go straight, get out of the network multi-tool, and then just turn. And so now we have a connection coming from over here, which is going to be a much needed connection. And it's going to funnel out of the area and ultimately into our highway. Okay, so now what I want to do is go ahead and create a highway interchange off of this. So I want to do a same side interchange going all the way down to here that is going to connect up to both sides. I feel like it's going to be really important for us to increase that connectivity. And so now let's go into our highways and we're going to go over to a highway off ramp. And let's go ahead and connect this up. We're going to go like right here. Let's go ahead and go to unmodded so we can be up in the air. Then we're going to go straight and we're going to use this time to go down. And so we want this to curve around and probably end like right about here. And so now I want to copy that on this side. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go down and have this line up like right here. Like right there should be good. And then we do need to have one that kind of crosses over. So let's go ahead and go like this, and then we will go straight again. Let's go like this, go down, and then we need this to go like right in the middle. Let's actually have that curve just a little bit sooner. So if we grab this and have it go like right here, and curve down, and then that way we can have this just dump right into that. And then that way these two can feed off of each other, and then same with this one, we'll probably have this one just dump right into that other one. So we'll have it go straight, and then have this loop down and probably connect up right there. And then that way what we can do is actually adjust these a little bit. So if we come down here, connect that up, or disconnect that up, connect that right there, and then have this come down. So we can bring this back just a smidge and then reconnect that. Go like this. And so now we have our connections, and you can kind of see we have an overlap right here that we need to resolve. And so let's go ahead and jump into the Move It mod. Let's grab both of these and bring them down. So we want them to be like right about there. And then we want them to be the same. So I'm going to Control H right there. And then let's go ahead and jump into the Network Multi-Tool and go into Set Slope Mode. And we will grab this little piece right there if we can. It wants to grab onto that key wall though. Yeah, we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and go like right here. And then let's go all the way up now. And we'll go ahead and hit enter on that. And then let's go ahead and grab that node again if we can, because the key wall is right there. It's giving us a hard time. Then we'll come up over here and do the same thing. And then now what we want to do is just make sure that this side is a little bit higher than that. So we want to grab this node and lower it down. So if we go like right there, we should be good. And then that way what we can do is just bring these out a little bit further. So we'll probably have this one go straight, then we'll have this one do the same. We'll have it go straight and then go down. And then we can jump into the Move It mod and just straighten that out a bit. And then that way it gives us a little more leeway to have this go above that. So now we can grab this if we can, go like that, go all the way around, grab that, hit enter, and then do the same thing for this other side. And again, it's just kind of tough with that key wall. Come up over here and let's go ahead and check that out now. Because it is still that highway over wall, we have this wall here, but we are going to fix that in just a second. So now let's go ahead and hit enter on this one. And you can kind of see it's definitely a little bit higher on this side. We'd probably want to extend that out even further just to make it a little bit safer for people. So if we have this go like right here, and then what we're going to do is have a road, probably a 4-lane road. We don't need a bigger road. So we'll have this go on the ground and have it go like right here. And then that way we can have it come this way as well. And then let's go ahead and create a little bit of an interesting connection here. So we'll have this curve in, and then we'll have this one come down and go straight. But then we'll also have one come down and curve. So we'll go like that. That way people coming from that direction can just kind of jump on, not have to worry about it. And then we'll go ahead and flip these going all the way around. And then we do need to upgrade this to a bridge piece to get rid of those highway over wall roads. So we'll go ahead and upgrade all of them to these bridge pieces. And voila. And so now we can come back over here and kind of check this out. So it is a little bit low. I wonder if we can go ahead. Let's try lowering this one down too. So we'll lower this down, and we do need to be careful because we're not going to be able to fit ferries down this middle island, which would be pretty important for us. So we might just have to avoid ferries on that connection. So then let's go ahead and set the slope mode up here again. Let's get that. And then let's go ahead and check it out on this side now. And that should have lowered it enough to make it a little more reasonable. It did. And so now let's come down here and let's connect this up and see if we can get a better slope out of this. We should be able to. So if we go like that, yeah, you know what, that's already much better. And so let's go ahead and do another straightaway with this. So we will have this go back just a smidge, and then let's go into this, and we are going to connect this up like this. But then we also want to have a straightaway. So we want this to go straight. But then let's go ahead and move these close enough to where it's basically one interchange. That's really what we're trying to go for here. And then that way we can go into our slope mode and readjust this because we're kind of all over the place right now. So then if we come up here, grab that one, go ahead and hit enter. Yeah, we're much better already. So then let's go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and check that out. So we are a little iffy for this. I wonder if we could just lower this down a smidge. Let's go like that. And then let's go ahead and upgrade this to a ground piece. Yeah, you know what, that looks a little bit better. You can see that these nodes are a little too close. That's why we're getting that weird clipping. So if we go ahead and remove that, yeah, you know what, it made it much better, but we're still really high. So let's lower this down, and then let's downgrade this to a ground piece because we want this to look realistic. We don't want it to be like all over the place. So I think we'll actually just have to bring this down. Kind of sucks, but it's just not going to work out that well. It does make our slope a little bit bigger, much bigger than I would prefer it to be, but it's just because of this clearance. Like, we just wouldn't want this to be too crazy. And so now we can come in here, go into node controller. Let's go ahead and remove those crossings. We can go into traffic manager and do this as well. And then we will come in here and do I want to do some fun stuff in here. So let's go ahead and move this across. Let's make this a little bit better of a curve. So we'll go like that. And I would prefer this to be connected up here, but it looks like we're going to have some issues if we do. So I wonder if we can just connect it up to our big road up top and have it look good. So if we go ahead and connect this up, let's turn it to unmodded. Let's see. So if we go like that and then have this one do the same, how does this look? Let's go like that, and then let's check out that slope too. So it's, I mean, it's pretty steep, but honestly, I've seen hills that steep in cities. And so now let's jump into a 4-unit road, and we will continue this on from the middle. So we'll go all the way down to the bottom, and we will have this go across. And so now let's go into the move it mod, and let's raise this up just a smidge so that we can get over that key wall. Go like that. Perfect. And then now what we can do is go into, we'll probably do a 2-lane one-way for each way. So we'll grab this. Let's go into 2-lane one-way. So we'll grab this. We'll do the one with the big sidewalks. I haven't really used this one yet. So we'll go like this. And then let's go ahead and connect that up as well. And then let's flip sides for this and see what this looks like, because we want this to act like one junction. But I think what we're going to have to do is go ahead and curve these in. So if we remove that, remove this, remove that. Go ahead and bring this road down. So we'll grab this, connect it up in the middle. That way what we can do is grab our ramps, have them just connect up in the middle. We'll go like that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. Go like that. And then that way we can just move these a little bit and they should work. It does look like we have a node that's a little too close. So let's go ahead and remove that one or this one. So let's go into move it mod. Let's bring these back just a smidge. Bring this one back. You know what, this actually looks pretty good because then we can go into node controller and just bring these up a little bit. This would be kind of iffy to work with, but we'll go ahead and flip that way. And then the stop would be right here, which would be kind of bad. We definitely want the stop to be a little bit further. The problem though is because of the way that this is going to work, it's not really going to allow us to bring that much further. So if it just wants us to bring it back. So if I even grab that node and try to just smush it up here, let's go ahead and check out the other one now. So if we bring this one too, I mean, it's not bad. It definitely looks a little stretched, but that does look a little bit better. So now let's bring these in just a little bit closer. So if we go like that, yeah, you know what, that looks a little bit better. And then that way this leaves some room for us to do some detailing and stuff, which could be really fun. And so now let's come up here and let's connect up our 4-unit road right here. So we'll have this go into our pedestrian road. Go like that, and then let's jump into a regular 2-unit road, and we will do some more grids off of this. And I do want the orientation to follow this one, so we're going to go ahead and cheat just go like this and then go up. I feel like this is looking pretty good. So we have some pretty good connectivity. We definitely need to get a couple more bridges across, but we're dealing with, so we would want our ferries to be able to come in here, ferry access down here. So right now this whole loop has ferry access. This island right here does not have ferry access. So I don't know if we're going to be able to connect these in a way that's going to make sense other than maybe doing a bridge right here. So if we go ahead and go up and then have this branch across, you know, this could actually look good because then we can have this go down and then just have this terminate over here as well. So we'll go like this and just go all the way down to the end. And then that way we can go ahead and do another road following the key going down. Let's actually delete just one segment of this. Have this come down here, and then we are going to have it curve along the key wall and then go underneath that. Yeah, we'll go like this. And then I do want to create another space in here, so we'll go ahead and go sideways and then come up here and connect it up. And then that way, that looks pretty good. We do need to grab our nodes though, because of the keys, it's just causing a lot of problems. So we'll hold shift, go all the way around until we get to pretty much all of them, and then control H right there. And so let's go ahead and connect this up. And then let's do some grids in here. So let's do a road. We'll do a road probably like right here. And then let's do a pedestrianized road off of this edge. Kind of want to actually hook this up again. So if we go into the bulldoze tool, let's go ahead and turn this into another bridge. Let's use the picker mode, grab our pedestrian road, and then have this go up again. So if we go up, and then we could even extend our little 2-lane road as well. Like maybe have the road go right next to the pedestrian road, which could look cool. So let's go ahead and force ground piece, have this come all the way down here, and then we can turn it and have it connect up with this other road. And then we'll jump into the move it mod, go ahead and level all these out since it doesn't want to stay level. So we'll go like this, and it looks like maybe it's the pedestrian road that's not level. So we'll go ahead and change that and go like this. And so now we have our pedestrian road kind of bouncing around. We do want to kind of fix this up a little bit. So if we grab that, let's go ahead and change this. Let's go and change this one as well. All right, and so I think this looks pretty good. I do wish that this connection was a little bit better. I'm tempted to even get rid of that middle connection in there and create a little bit better of a connection. So I think for this section, what we can do is actually get rid of these. We're going to keep that one, but then what we're going to do is actually go to our 1 unit road and have this road kind of continue on, but then connect up here. I think that this is just going to look a lot better. So if we go like this and go like that, yeah, you know what? That just looks so much better. Because then we can flip these around and it's just going to provide access for the freeway people to get up onto our collector up here, which is super important. And then it's not going to cause a whole lot of issues with this other road, which is pretty good. I do wish that there was something a little bit better here. Maybe we'll put in a small building or something, just because I don't want to leave this space empty. So if we go like that and then go ahead and go like this, just going to leave some room for us to put something in there to kind of fill it up. Otherwise, this would just be like bad land use. And so let's go ahead. I want to start focusing on our transit. So we have 1 ferry stop. We're probably going to do another ferry stop over here. I don't know if we're going to do that on this episode, but I want to extend our metro line. I feel like it's going to be super important for us to get this in here. So we have a big metro station in here with 2 metro lines. So I'm thinking what we can do is go into our content creator packs and grab our elevated bypass metro station. Let's go ahead and do, so if we have this come like right here, and then let's have it turn and then probably come up like right here as well. So if we go like right in the middle, yeah, if we go like right there, and then that way we can extend the other metro line to be on the other side. But then this also helps us to create a really cool look in here with the metro tracks. And so let's go in here. I think did we get any other new metro above metro? Oh, we did with shops. Let's actually let's do one of these up here. So we're gonna do that right there, and then we're gonna get rid of that one because I think this is a new one possibly. Yeah, this is the one that came with the plazas and promenades, and this is actually a pretty cool station. I like that it has these little shops underneath too. I think that's a cool touch. And so now we can just get rid of this. I don't know why it didn't delete. And then we will connect these up. So we'll go into our metro line, and there we go. And so now we have created an awesome little line in there, though I kind of wish it was little equal on the swoop. So if we actually trim this back, what we can do is go into the network multi tool and go to complete connection mode. Grab that and grab this. And then what this is going to do is just allow us to have a little bit more equal of a connection on this. So if we raise this up, let's go down here. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and let's make sure that we clear out those roads. We do. So that definitely looks a lot better. And so now let's go ahead and do the same thing for this. We're going to grab this, then we're going to come over here and grab that, because then we can bring this out just a smidge. We do need to raise this up though, so we'll go ahead and hit enter. And then we need to be mindful of our ships that come through here. Like you can kind of see that ship is way taller. So now let's go ahead and grab these, and then let's raise this up probably to about like right there. And then let's go into the set slope mode and make sure that these aren't too crazy. So let's go ahead and hit enter. So 2.9, that's actually not too bad. Because then we can do the same thing on this side. We'll go ahead and hit enter. And then that way we leave room for ships to still be able to come through, which is pretty important. Okay, so now what we're going to do is start placing some buildings down. And so I have a couple tabs here. I have one for skyscrapers, one for offices, and then one for Rico. So if we actually go into Rico, and what this is going to do is basically show me the bulk of assets that I have downloaded off the Steam Workshop. There are probably still going to be some that I've missed in here, but it's going to have most of them. And so I do want to come in here and place these down in areas that's going to make sense. So we're going to go ahead and place these down, and I want to get a different variation of heights. I don't want to have them all really tall buildings. And so we will come in here. Let's go ahead and look for another building. We really want to get some tall ones in here, but we want them to kind of fit in too. We don't want to just place them down and then have them not fit. So this one actually looks pretty cool. This looks like a pretty cool building. I wonder if we can just squeeze this in there and have it fit. So it actually does. If we go like that, because then look at that, we're getting pretty tall. We got some pretty tall buildings going on. Let's go ahead and place this one too. So this looks pretty cool. We'll go ahead and place that. Oh yeah, look at that building. That looks really cool. Now let's look at this one. So this one looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and place this one like over here. Marina Torch though, let's see if this places down. So it does. So I think we can go ahead and move this one like over here somewhere. Yeah, this is going to be a good fit. And then I want to fill in some of the spaces with other buildings. So we're actually going to go into offices now, and there are some really tall offices in here. So I want to do a couple really cool ones, but then I also want to get some smaller ones in here too. So if we place this down, let's go ahead and check that out. Oh yeah, this one looks really cool, especially with this little middle section. That looks great. We could even have the metro kind of go through that. That could look really cool if we get that. So if we have this one, I wonder, because if we could have it go through the building, that would just look really cool. Yeah, like look at that. It is a little low though, so I don't know if that's going to work out. Let's go ahead and just place it over here where we had it. I think it would look really cool, but I just don't know if that's going to work out for the best. I think having it over here by our pedestrian road would make sense though. So let's go ahead and place this like right here. Yeah, like right there. So we want to make sure that our skyline is still pretty good whenever we're placing these buildings down. Like we can go into repaint as well and kind of change the colors. Like this one's, we want that to be white. That yellow was kind of weird. And so let's go back into that, and we want to get some smaller buildings in here too. So I like these ones. Ooh, this one actually looks really cool. So if we place that right there, yeah, that is a great match. And then let's go on and look for some more. We could even do a small one in here too. I think this could be good. So if we do a small one like right next to that big one, and let's see what else we got. Keep going. So 3 Commerce Square, this could be good. So let's go ahead and place that right there. Let's go around again. So we got this one. Ooh, this one's kind of bigger. So this one's not too big, and that actually blends in pretty well, and it helps to grab that different height variations in there. So let's keep looking. This one actually I really like. I've used these before, and these ones we could actually do like a string of them. So we'll have this go down, and then that way these are like maybe one office park, but I like that they have the little like walking areas in the front. I think that's really cool. And so let's keep going. Oh, and it looks like there's some more of those ones too. So do we have, ooh, we have some smaller ones. So if we go like this, let's go ahead and place these on the opposite side. Oh yeah, these look great. And so we can go ahead and turn this and then connect it up with that other road. And this is a way that you can kind of meld these buildings together to just make them look better. Like, look at that. That looks great. I really like that. I don't like this one would be great. And this actually fits in there pretty well. It's kind of different colors though. I don't know if that actually goes with our downtown. It's kind of more of a futuristic look. This one looks pretty good though. And this is, you know, a very iconic building. It would become a part of our skyline almost. Given the taller buildings would definitely take precedence, but I want to use these ones. So I know I want to use this one back here. So this building just looks great, and I love that it has the little details in the back. This creator is just fantastic. He's one of my favorites. He's so good at capturing these different colors and the details. So if we come in here and do 3 of these, we can turn that into a little complex. We do still need to do our services and stuff, so let's actually pause the game. I was kind of unpaused it because I was hoping to get some money going, but let's go ahead and place 2 of those. So this is like a whole little complex over there. And then let's look at this building now. So if we do one of these, let's do this over here, and let's have this one off the back side. So we'll actually meld this one in. So we'll go ahead and grab this and go like that. There you go. Just kind of meld those buildings together, make them look a little bit better, because we can even do that over here too. So if we go, let's try to find another building that we can maybe put on top of these ones. Oh yeah, look at that. So like that already, it looks pretty good. And that way we can probably even do one right here too. So let's see if we could get a taller building in here. So like this one right here, it just fits in there really well with the colors, and it makes it a bit taller so that it's more pronounced. So then that way we can keep going. Look at this residence inn. This would be a good one. So we have that. Oh, we do have the residence inn. I thought we had it. So we just placed these buildings in Crater Lake, but we actually don't have them in Canalville. So these ones are actually really nice, and they're kind of colored, but they have a tall one. So if we go ahead and place that right there, and then let's do a smaller one right over here connected to it, and then let's do this one on the other side. Well, I guess that one's the other one. So if we go like this, we're already running out of money. All these buildings are super expensive. So let's go ahead and lay down pipes, and then we can start getting this place going. Okay, so we got our water pipes in, and I think we actually got a nice little mix of buildings coming in here. So I do want to paint this as a regular district. We're going to go ahead and do all of them. We could even do the whole side, but maybe we'll do like one side as a separate city. Maybe this will be like a different kind of district. But I do want to go in here and do wall-to-wall offices, commercial, and residential. So we're going to go ahead and mix it all in there. So we will go like this, go ahead and connect that up. And then that way we can zone this all in and really start getting some people moving in. Like we have a medium demand for residential and a medium demand for commercial, but then we even have a small demand for industrial down there. And so we would want to satisfy those demands. So we definitely need to get some services in here, and I do want to use the newer one. So I want to put this high capacity hospital in here, just because I think this is such a great looking building. You can even put it back here. I think this would be good, like right in there. Oh yeah, look at that. I love the look of that. And then we can even move this back just a smidge, really give it that dense look. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. So then now let's move over to our high capacity fire station. Let's go ahead and do this in here. So we'll go place that right there, and we're already running out of money again. Those are expensive buildings. And then I want to do the high capacity police, which is 100,000. Geez, I didn't realize these buildings were that expensive. Yeah, because look at that. We're gonna have to wait until we make a little more money. I'm gonna go ahead and pump it up to 3 speed. We're already making pretty good money. I shouldn't have to let it run for too long. Okay, so I let it run for a bit, and we are already back up to having some money. And so let's go ahead and place our police station. Let's do it right here. So I definitely want to get some buildings next to our metro line still. So I think what we're going to do, we do have a small demand for office space. So I think we will come in here and go ahead and zone this in as offices. And these are going to be all the wall to wall. So they're going to come in looking pretty cool. And one thing I did forget, we do need to do our service center before we forget. That would be super important for us. So let's come in here, go to our little pedestrian area guy, and let's do the large pedestrian area service point. We definitely need to do a big one. So then let's come down here. Let's go ahead and make it off of this road. I feel like that's just going to be the best bet for us. And then we can extend our pedestrian area. So let's come in here, go to our districts tab, grab that, and then go ahead and extend this out now. And it looks like we're just going to have to replace that whole other one, which is okay. That was my mistake. And so now all of our buildings off of the pedestrian roads would be allowed to funnel their deliveries over here, which is super important. It's really nice. I did end up making this connection. I'm not really sure if we're going to utilize it because we really need to get our ferries through here, and we're going to have a lot of problems if we have too low of a clearance. Let's actually draw that in right now before we forget. So let's go into our ships, and we will grab this, go into the freeform tool, have this follow along our canal, and then let's go ahead and extend our connection for that too. So if we find our little, yeah, right there, perfect. And let's grab this and have it come up here, connect up right there, And let's have the other side go up here as well. And so now we have created access for up there, which is great, especially for our ferries. We really have a lot of ferries in here. And we're utilizing the prefer ferries policy within the game as well. So we have our residential coming in over here. Let's go ahead and check it out. So this is the wall to wall, and I like how the buildings are looking. A lot of them are very similar, just kind of different colors. But this is going to be good for the area. We still need to do a school. And then we need to do some other services, like a library would be good. Let's actually check out library real quick. All right, so I went ahead and placed down a library right here. And I think that this is actually going to fit in well, especially once these buildings kind of zone up a little bit. So we do still need to do a high school and an elementary. And these are kind of expensive buildings. So this has a student capacity, this high school, of 2,400. Let's check out the elementary. So it has 800. Let's check out our other ones now. So it's 250 for the community school, and it is 300. So that actually looks like it's probably going to be our best bet right next to the library. There we go. And then let's look at that high school now. So I would like to get the high school a little more centralized. So let's go ahead and place, this actually doesn't have great access over to the other side. So maybe if we actually just place it back here, because then we can still do a couple little sports things. I mean, inner city, high schools I don't think tend to have as much like fields or sports or anything like that, but we'd still want to get a couple in there. So if we place those like that, let's go ahead and move this one over here. So we'll shift this over, and then we will grab this, go ahead and flip it around, and then we're going to come in here and do some trees and stuff, make that look good. Because I think we did get a little bit of zoning over here too. Let's do some small residential. Maybe we'll actually keep that without zoning. And then let's go ahead and wait for this to grow in and then make a little more money real fast. Okay, so I let the game run for a bit and we are back up to $1 million, which is good to see. But we all, more importantly, have buildings coming in, and we still do have some spots where buildings aren't coming in. A lot of it has to do with demand and services, and so we still need to place down some more stuff. So if we actually choose one of these buildings, so it says educate more citizens, which shouldn't really be an issue. We have education right there. So I'm wondering why maybe these just aren't the style homes that people want to move into, because we have some zoning right there. I have heard that there are issues with some mods and zoning not coming in properly. And so I'm not too worried about it. I think we're going to go ahead and place down some more. So what we'll do is go into find it, and we will get out of this library tab. I was searching up libraries, and I want to go into growable, and then I want to choose wall-to-wall residential. And so what I want to do, I want to try to look at the theme that it's got going on, but then I want to place down some more. So we're going to come all the way over here. Let's go ahead. You know what? This one actually looks really cool. It doesn't blend in with that though. So if we go ahead and search for one that's going to blend in with this, let's go ahead and, you know, these buildings actually aren't that tall. Let's get out of here and go into self-sufficient, which should be these ones, high density, residential, eco. Let's go ahead and intermix these, because then we're just going to get a better look, because then we can go ahead and get some taller ones too, which I think are going to really help to capture a better look in here. So if we go ahead and grab that, and then let's put that right there. Let's go ahead and do a second one right next to it. And I like how those buildings are touching. That actually gives a nice little look in there. But then let's go ahead and move over here. Let's put one right there. Let's go ahead and do another intermingled one. So let's grab that, put it right there. So we don't want to have too many of these really small ones. So I'm actually going to pause and delete a couple of these, because it's just not going to look good if we have too many really big buildings next to like small buildings. And so I think we'll keep these. I like these small buildings over here, but then let's go ahead and search for another kind of bigger building that's going to look good in here. Yeah, this one actually looks really good, because then we can jump into some wall-to-wall commercial and actually put it at the bottom. So if we go ahead and place that right there, there are some spots, so it looks a little weird if you look at it. So maybe we'll bring that out just a smidge, bring this out even more. If we go like right there and then get rid of this building, we want it to look good, but we also want it to look realistic. So now we have those little spots. Let's actually go into Bob and remove those spots, because it's just going to bother me. Even though we don't see it from far away, let's just go ahead and remove them. So we're going to get rid of that, and then get rid of parking spaces, go like that, perfect. And so now it should look a little bit better, yeah, it does. And so now we can actually meld these together and turn it into a little pedestrian area, as people are kind of walking through there. That looks really cool, and this is a fun way that you can really get an area to look good just by melding buildings together like that. So I like this. I want to extend our little plaza kind of middle section right there, so I'm going to pull that in the middle there. And then let's go ahead and we could do another one over here. I think that could look good. So let's go ahead and copy that, put that like right there. And then what we can do in the middle is a little park. So if we go in here, let's go to our pedestrian and see if we have a fun size park that'll fit right here in the middle. So if we grab that, let's go ahead and look at that now. So let's go into move it, shift this over just a bit. So if we go like that, maybe if we extend these out just a little bit more, go like this. There we go. Look at that. I like the look of that a lot. I like that it has this big building in the middle too. It looks almost like a whole complex. And so we can do something similar back here. We're going to go back in to find it. And let's do a bigger commercial building maybe. I'm thinking that could look good, especially since we have this one right here. So let's go, you know what, let's actually do a similar one to what we already have. So if we go like that, it looks like it's all one big building. I actually really like that. I think that looks really cool. I think it blends in well with that area too. We do need to possibly get rid of these ones. So let's grab these, grab that whole corner and delete. Because then what we can do is come in here with a path and we will turn off snapping. We want this path to come like right here and then turn. There we go. And then that way we can come back in here and let's do a residential. Let's do a residential bigger one. Maybe not a huge one, but a bigger one definitely. So maybe, ooh, this one looks good. So if we put that right there, and then let's go ahead and meld these together just a smidge. So if we go like that, and then let's see if we can fit another one in here, maybe a smaller one. I mean, we can go into Surface Painter and paint all this in as concrete, which is good. So you know what, that actually doesn't look bad, because then let's actually upgrade that path road to a concrete path. So we'll go like this all the way around, and then it leaves some room for us to do some stuff in the middle. Yeah, I think that actually looks really good. I like these buildings across the street. I like these smaller buildings. I think that that is a good little mix. And then I like these over here too. I think this is a good mix. We could go ahead and get rid of these ones and put something else on the end. Let's actually do another little plaza. I think that that could be good. And it looks like that's a little too big. So maybe we'll actually come in here and draw in our own plaza. I think that that could be good. Yeah, so if we go like that and then put in a plaza, that could be good. I'm going to do that in our detailing time lapse. But then let's come over here by the station, and I want to do something a little bit bigger. Let's go to that eco residential again and see if we can get some cool buildings in here. So if we place that right there, that's not the same building that we did before, is it? No, it's not. So we'll go ahead and place that, and then let's put a small commercial right next to it. Let's do the wall-to-wall again. Yeah, if we do this, I think this is going to look good. So let's jump in and move it. Let's remove that building, and then let's go into this one again. Ooh, man, I really like these buildings a lot. I think they're fantastic looking. Because then we can grab that, go ahead and bring it up just a smidge, and then let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. So we're going to get rid of that, go back into this one. Let's do a bigger one, and then let's do one right next to it. And then this is one that had already grown, so maybe we'll actually keep that like that. Yeah, you know what, I think that looks pretty good, because then we can do another residential over here, which I think would be good. So let's go back into our eco. Let's actually check out the regular ones and see what we're looking at. So if we do, that one looks okay. This one's, I mean, the vanilla models really aren't my favorite, but there are some good ones. These are all our European ones. So if we look in here, there should be some pretty decent ones. So these ones look okay. They're definitely not as sleek as the eco ones. So let's actually go back into the eco ones. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do this one. I really like this look. So we're going to go like that and have it go both ways. And then let's make sure to remove zoning here too, because we don't want buildings to kind of grow in here on top of it. That would not be good. But then this allows us to do a path in the middle, and then we can go into Surface Painter and paint all this in, and then really just bring all this together. We're going to do like a big plaza in here, really just tie it all in. It does look like we're missing a key right there. So let's keep that like that, and then we will, you know what, I really like this. I think this is looking really cool. So let's do something right here. Let's do a high-rise residential. Let's actually do, yeah, we'll do just one. Maybe we'll do two. Let's see about this one. So let's place that right there, and let's go back to this. And you know what, I think that looks pretty interesting. Those look good. And then that way we can do another little custom plaza in the middle. Yeah, if we grab this path, have it go back. And then I did want to do something fun right here. That's why I left this empty. So we already got a space to do something in here, and we could do, let's see if we can fit another building in here. So let's go into skyscrapers. Let's go into offices, and let's see what we could fit. So we could fit this one. This one's a cool building. Let's see how it looks, even though spending the money is kind of a waste. We'll scrap that one, and let's see what kind of unique buildings we have. So we have the transport tower, which actually does look pretty good. It has a pretty decent little grounds area. So if we place that right there, now you know what? I don't know how that looks. It just doesn't look that good. So, you know, maybe we'll keep it like that, because it's a smaller building, so it actually kind of does blend in right there, and it helps us to get more unique buildings, which is good. So the servicing services building, this is a pretty good building, and this one actually does have a really nice grounds. So if it actually looks like it's going to be a little too big. Let's check out the high interest tower. So if we go like this, how does that look? So it definitely blends in, and I think what we can do is grab this and bring it forward just a little bit because we're clipping kind of in the back, and then we can shift this forward a bit. Yeah, you know that I think that looks pretty good. And I like how we got the intermingling of kind of smaller buildings in here with bigger buildings, especially over here. I think this looks good. So I still want to kind of connect this up with our plaza area. So we would want to some wall-to-wall commercial off of this section. So let's actually do one of our little plazas that we did in Crater Lake, because I really like that look. Go ahead and meld these in. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll probably even use those same buildings that we did on the other one. So if I go like that and then go ahead and yeah, because we got that one off the backside. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think that looks really cool. It's like a whole little complex. But then it has this little shopping mall in the back. I like that a lot. I think that looks awesome. Let's go ahead and shift this forward just so that we're not clipping that road. That would not be good. And then let's go ahead and do some more shops over here. So we'll go back in here, do some wall to wall. Let's maybe change it up a little bit. So let's go like this, and let's see how these buildings look. So this one, you know what? They look cool. They're definitely different, but they still look good. So let's come over here, do the same thing. So these ones are smaller. Maybe we'll come over here and do this bigger one and just connect these all up, because I really like these buildings. These are just awesome. These are probably my favorite of the wall-to-walls. Though the offices have some really cool buildings that meld together too. So let's go ahead and bring these back. Let's bring this one forward just a smidge. Yeah, you know what? I think this looks cool. It's like a whole little compound. And so our area is coming together really nicely. We're going to do probably like park space back here. Let's go ahead and fit in another bigger building over here. So we can go ahead and do this local register office that's a part of the modern Japan. It's definitely looks like a little bit older of a building, but I think it blends in with the downtown vibe, which is nice. And it's a little bit smaller too, so it helps us capture that varying heights kind of feel. So let's go back in there and let's see what other buildings. So we have this high-rise office building from the modern Japan building as well. Let's see what this one looks like. So this one's got a nice little front side. So I think we will do a path off the front and then maybe do a small plaza in here with some fountains and stuff really kind of tied together. So I think placing these offices in here is going to be really nice, especially right off the waterfront. This would be really nice waterfront areas. And so now we have a lot of great stuff going on. I really like the look of this. I like the metro going through too. I think that this is just awesome. We do still want to allow some zoning to come in here. So I think we're going to just do some residential in there. We'll go ahead and keep this over here. So we're going to do a schooling area, and then we'll come in here, do some trees, just really make it into a nice area. We still do have some space back here to do something. Let's see if we can fit in a nice pedestrian plaza. So let's go in here, go into our pedestrian areas, and let's do this large fountain plaza. If we go like that, and then place a couple of these smaller ones on either side, how's that going to look? And then that way we can do some paths and trees and stuff and really kind of clean it up. We are kind of missing something right here. Let's see if we can place a couple more residentials. Kind of wish these wall-to-wall residentials were bigger. It's they're like really small. So I think we'll do this one, and then let's go ahead and do the other one on the other side. So we'll grab that, and then that way what we can do is go ahead and let's do one back here as well. It's like a little compound almost, and then we can do some paths through it and really kind of clean it up, make it look good. So let's do some paths through. So we'll grab this, have it go straight, and then let's go just a little bit off of that, and then have it come up here, and then have it come down here. And then we got a little space right here too. Man, what could we do there? So we could do like a small little gas station or something. You don't tend to see gas stations in downtown areas that much though. Let's go ahead and do this building. It doesn't particularly look great. It's kind of older, even like muskier, but I think for this area it will look good, because then what we can do is extend out our wall to wall. So we'll grab this and then have it go out just a couple. Yeah, you know, that makes it look a little bit better, because we could even have this go like that to cover that front side a bit. So then we could grab this, bring it back. We still want the entrance to be clear, but we want to try to cover up a lot of the building. Yeah, you know what? That looks pretty good. I think we will go ahead and shift this other building though. We'll shift this like right there. All right, and so now what we need to do is go ahead and do just a couple other smaller services. I don't think we're going to fill this in today, but I do want to do a garbage area. So we need to do a waste transfer facility. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and do a small road. We'll go into this and we'll go to a 1-unit road, and we will have this road just branch off of here and go straight back here. Let's actually turn on snapping, and then we'll have it just connect up right here. Yeah, you know, that's good. And then that way we can do a transfer facility right there. And then we, you know, that actually looks pretty good. I like that. It leaves room for us to do something off of this side as well. Maybe something utility based, that'd probably be good. So if we go like this and then kind of loop this down, you know, that's not going to look as good. It's just really tight on this side. And so we got all of our services. I think the only thing we need left is some crematoriums. So if we come in here, let's just place a couple of these. So we'll place one right there. We'll come back here and let's place one right here. And so we have parks. I think we only have a couple parks. We don't have a lot. We're going to come through and we're definitely going to have to place a couple more parks. Maybe even like some of these plazas. Like we just need to get a little more space going. So if we just try to find some empty space. We got these ones. We don't have anything in here, which would be a shame. So let's actually, we're going to delete some buildings, but let's place that right there. And then what we can do is just delete a couple of these. We'll delete those. Yeah, you know what? That's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and place a taller eco building in here again. And we're really missing some stuff in here, but it's just so tight. Like that just doesn't look great. Like if we even grab this road, we would have to extend it across the other way, which we're not going to be able to get a ferry in here anyway. So maybe we'll just extend this way and we'll do the same thing here. So we'll have it extend there, and then let's go ahead and straighten that out. We'll grab this, go like this, straighten that out just a smidge, make it look a little bit better. And then this way, I mean, it does provide access to the other side, which is good. So this, same with this side, we'll go ahead and just bring it across. And that way people can get in here. And so we'll probably have to put something in here, maybe like some offices or something like that. I think offices would probably be our best bet. So I went ahead and put in this geology kind of survey museum, and I think this looks really cool. So it's an office building. I think it blends in really well. So I think maybe another office building over here would be good. If we could even find like maybe a bigger one, kind of like that maybe. Yeah, I think that this could look good. So we'll grab that and copy it, go like this. And then that way we can do some paths in the back, just turn it into a nice area, maybe even do like a little seating area. That could be good. So if we go up here, connect that up, you know what, I actually like that. I think that that looks pretty good. And so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into a detailing time lapse. I'm going to fill in some of the spaces, but then I want to do a couple plazas and then some paths and stuff, really tie it in together. I'm going to focus on some of the smaller areas. Like I really want to get benches in and just turn it into a really nice area. We'll probably extend a lot of the concrete around the outside. But I want to make it look natural and as good as possible. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into that, and I will catch you guys on the other side. Okay, so after probably way too long, I am finally finished. And I just got to say, doing projects this large is incredibly hard. But I'm glad that I got it done. I just couldn't let go of a lot of the smaller spaces. So I ended up doing like curbs around a lot of the open areas just to hide a lot of the ruining. I did curbs all the way around this building to help accentuate these kind of paths and stuff. I did a little fountain in here. I added in some pedestrian bridges. I did a huge sculpture garden back here. And then for a lot of the smaller spaces, I did those curbs, or I just did trees. Like for a little pedestrian area back here, I decided to do some organic and local produce, little shops around. And then I did like a sculpture garden back here with some pergolas and a couple little more of the organic and local produce. For our office area over here, I decided to add in some of the wall-to-wall offices right here. And then I did a little like rock garden with some palm trees. And I did a cool little plaza with another little sculpture in here. And I put some pergolas in the middle, and then I decided to do a bridge across. So I ended up doing some trees around this waste processing complex that I'd put in, but then I did a warehouse with commercial zoned goods. And then I just kind of filled in a lot of the other spaces. You know, I really wanted to make it look alive and realistic. I didn't want to make it look too different. So one of the things I did with the residential area that was a little different from the other ones, instead of doing concrete, I decided to do grass all the way around. Just because there's something called the heat island effect, and it happens in downtowns where there's just too much cement or asphalt and the entire area actually heats up because of it. And so having open green spaces is actually really good for overall heat distribution, but then also rain as well. Whenever you have a lot of cement and asphalt, it causes the water to not have an area anywhere to go. And so it can cause flooding and a lot of issues like that. And so you always want to incorporate some green space. And so in downtowns, you typically don't see them as much, but I think this looks really good. You know, I definitely put in a lot of details for this. This is probably the best downtown I've ever done. So for the broader area, what I'm thinking, I was kind of looking at the shape of this, and it kind of looks weird. And so what I'm thinking about doing is an artificial island right here. I think that would just look really cool if we did something off of this coast a little bit, maybe even extended this out a little bit more. But then we're also going to incorporate something over here. Because we have this industrial over here, I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll make a bridge and then connect this up with maybe a factory district or something like that. Since it is a downtown, you would want it to be kind of like the center of commerce. And this area, we really didn't do that with. We really don't have any major commerce coming out of here other than maybe like businesses and financial stuff like that. And so I think for the next few episodes, we'll probably just be focusing on this. If you guys have any fun ideas, go ahead and let me know. If you enjoyed this episode, you will definitely enjoy the episode on your screen. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.